I just love how much space there is, right? It lets you breathe. And maybe from the outside, you might think that this monochromatic tones like the blacks, the whites are kind of boring, but I feel like the opposite. My name is Alfonso Cobo. Welcome to my TriBeCa apartment. So my favorite part of the apartment is the high ceilings. I think it's like 22 feet ceilings, which is amazing. Olive trees are very important to me. All my family is from the south of Spain. A little village where all you see wherever you look is a huge ocean of olive trees. And I wanted a little bit of that home within my space here in New York City. I just really enjoyed the final outcome. It's not only how it looks, but how it makes me feel. Feels very at peace, but also like a reflection of where we are in the city. You can kind of like see those tones from the bricks from outside and bringing those into the interior space too. I really like the area of the office and the living room with those ochre colors. All right, so let me show you the office. We're here. Big change, big difference from the kitchen area and the living space. I sit down every day and work from home. I think really great space, like very calming colors. Really lucky that I also have a little terrace here, little balcony, and it feels very New York. You get all the brick building. We also have these art pieces from one of my favorite artists, Julian Watts. I asked him if he could do a couple for me, and he did these two, and I absolutely love them. They're actually carved wood with Indian black ink. We actually created this sofa, which is custom. I wanted the biggest, largest sofa I could fit in the space, so I could fit as many friends as possible here. We hang out, watch movies, play video games, the Nintendo games, Zelda, Mario, all that good stuff. And yeah, just love the space, very cozy. I've renovated other spaces in the past, but I always tried to take them on myself. And this time around, I'm like, actually, I want to understand and learn from the experience of collaborating with another designer to make sure we push each other and we create a great space. Collaborated with Elena Clunis-Ross, who's absolutely great working with her. My background is actually in architecture and design, so I'm really passionate about interiors too. And you know, to make this collaboration work, she really had to get to know me, and we just did that. We built this huge metal bookcase. It's one of my favorite parts of the apartment. Kind of like contrast with the warmth of the floor and the different textures that we have all around the space. It also accentuates the huge height of the ceiling. I think the space in the end really reflects who I am, my personality, so I really think she did a great job. I love collecting pots from all over the place. From my most recent trip to Nicaragua, I actually went to a little store where they were doing ceramics, and they taught me how to do a pot, and then I bought one of the ones that they were selling, and yeah, kind of like special to me. I feel like everywhere I travel, I try to find a ceramic piece or a pot that I can then bring back home. I have actually too many. I have a lot on storage too, which I wish I could put them all, but this was also one of my favorites from an artist in Brooklyn. Got it from Gallery Was here in New York City. We created like a plinth to be able to put it there and make it like into a museum piece. I'm always worried my friends are just gonna like knock it down when they fall through, but it's all good. I also try to not have too many things in the space, like live more of a minimal life. Helps me be a bit more at peace because my life is very busy, working in tech and you know, living in New York City. I kind of like want to feel really at peace and calm in my space. That's why we also have these stones in the wall, like the line wash, which I really love. Even the dark ceilings. Normally that's rule number one that they tell you, don't paint the ceilings black. But for me, having this height in the space allowed me to really take that risk, and it really brings me at peace when I look up in the ceiling and look at the dark. It feels calm and nice. When I think about the darker tones, it's not just black, it's the different textures, and that's what I'm really passionate about too. When I started architecture back in the day, I was really obsessed with touching materials. So I would go to a wall or a piece of metal, I would touch it, a piece of wood, I would touch it. And for me, that materiality is very important, and I wanted that to be reflected in the space too. I think that's what makes the space very interesting, that combination of different material, the metal, the different woods, the texture from the chair, the stone in the kitchen. I think it's very interesting how even though it's a similar tonality, you get all these different textures which make the space a lot more interesting in my eyes. I feel very lucky. It's a big contrast of the first few Brooklyn apartments where I lived, which were like the complete opposite. So very lucky to feel like I can experience the space now. Here's the kitchen. And it's not that I use it much. That's my goal this year, to cook more. And I think it's gonna motivate me to do that. But the whole idea of the kitchen was actually for all the cabinets to blend in with the rest of the wall, to really accentuate that height and not have this separation with like a random line in the middle of the wall. But you know, we have the darker tones with the wood, with the stone, and that brings a big contrast to the rest. And I think that was an aspect that I really wanted to explore, how we can bring, you know, the brutality and the personality of this darker stone into the space, but without overtaking the whole space. I think we blended it quite well. I think all the tones and colors and materials and textures bring the whole space together. It all speaks about who I am and my personality, and I think, you know, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Right, let me show you the bedroom now, which again continues the theme that we've seen in the previous spaces. It's very calm, makes you feel at peace, very zen. And you also notice the dark ceilings again, continued also that idea that we had in the main living room and kitchen area and brought into the bedroom. And here it feels also very good because you're just laying down in the bed and looking at the ceiling and it feels like you're at night. It kind of like helps me fall asleep, I feel. One of my favorite pieces here is actually the bed frame. We made it custom. Feels like it just brings structure to the room, and you know, the different materials, again, the different wood, the textured walls. You see kind of like this, a stony lamp here. Really love how you start bringing all these different materials and colors. One of the pieces I really love is actually this bench. It's from Gallery Was here in New York, an antique. Really into benches for some reason too. Really love finding like the right piece that you could place anywhere. Really lucky that I also have a balcony here. So I have this thing that I don't like waking up with an alarm clock. Normally my body wakes me up really early, 5, 6, but I've not let the natural light wake me up every day. And yeah, I love it. Yeah, really calm, really nice space. I feel like a very lucky boy because to have as big of a closet like this in New York City is not normal. So I love it. So lucky. I worked with my designer, Helena, to create this space which felt like a store where you could really easily find your clothes. I'm a bit obsessed with colors and I've color coordinated everything. But yeah, I have all my shoes, all my trainers, my t-shirts here. And what we used was this like light washed oak, which again, kind of continues that peaceful feeling throughout the whole apartment into this space. All right, thank you so much for following along and for watching. If you want to follow more of the journey, you can follow me on social media at Cobo. And if you're interested in what I'm building now, you can follow at Hypelist on both TikTok and Instagram. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.